going on, creepers and geekers? Chris the Atari Creep here. And just to let you know, I'm using my old camera. My phone decided to act like a knucklehead today. So if the quality's not as good as it always is, that's why, and I apologize for that. I do have another video that was slotted for this week, but 2 reasons I'm not putting it up yet. One, because I'm almost done with it, but my phone started acting like a knucklehead, so I may have to start it over again. And 2, the video game gods have been in my favor for the past month or so. And I picked up a smoking deal today that I felt like, I got enough stuff here to do a video, pickups, so you know what? Fuck it, let's just do it. So that's what we're going to get today. Now before I told you where I got it all from, I'm just literally going to rifle through it, so this isn't a big long drawn out thing like it normally is. So let me get started with these 2 here. This was a trade deal I did. I sent somebody something a while back. Okay, maybe I am going to talk about it. And we didn't really discuss what I wanted in return for it. It was just one of those, whatever comes up, comes up. And he decided to sell a few games to trade off, and I asked him about this one, and he said, yeah, that's more than fair. So he sent this over to me. Now, the Black Tengen cards is going to be probably one of my first NES goals, now that I'm really getting back into the collecting thing. Or rebuilding my collection, I should say. And hopefully before the year's end, I'll have every Black Tengen and then whatever gray ones I can get my hands on. So I was happy to get a hold of that. I was at a couple thrift stores yesterday looking for something else, but of course I got to look for video games, don't I? And this is pretty much one of the only other games that I could find. The other one was a Super Nintendo game, it was Battleship for $15, and I wasn't touching that. So, but I got this G Police Weapons of Justice. I guess it's a sequel to another game. Never heard of it. But the back looked interesting, and a few people online have said it's a fun game. And I figure for $2, the disc is clean as hell and it's complete. Once I get a PlayStation, I'll pop that in and we'll get going. The next lot is from Mr. Paku Paku. He decided to sell off a bunch of his Famicom and Super Famicom stuff. I showed interest in one game, and he sent it along with 3 other games. And the main one is Star Wars for the Famicom. I've always wanted to get a hold of this game. Not that it's hard to get, but I figured if the opportunity was there, I'll jump on it. The only problem I'm having is I can't get this to work in with Generation Next. It's kind of a Famicom clone mixed with an NES clone. I don't know if this cartridge might have a special chip like, say, Castlevania 3 does, and has a hard time in a lot of clones reading, or if I just have a bum cartridge. I do plan on getting an AV Famicom here pretty soon, soon enough, and I guess I can answer that question once I plug this into it. However, if any of you tech guys know if this has like a special chip or something that's hard for clone systems to read, let me know. I'd like to know as soon as possible if I have a bum cartridge or not. Not that it's going to go anywhere, it's still going to be on my shelf, but regardless, let me know in the comments if you know. He also sent Alien Storm for the Genesis. It's kind of like a Golden Axe, but with guns and in the future. Dragon's Revenge. It's a pinball game. It's the sequel to Dragon's Fury, which I've done a video on, so if you're curious about that, go ahead and scroll down and look for it. I did some Easter a year or 2 ago. It's basically a pinball game, but it's got some kind of evil friggin' elements to it, some medieval elements, and this is more of the same, I guess, but a lot of people have told me this is one of their favorites on the Genesis, so I can't wait to play that. It's just been tough getting, time to plug my Genesis in and play. And last from that batch, Blastworks for the Wii. I can't wait to try this. This looks interesting. It's like a puzzle shooter or something from what I can tell on the back. You'll probably know a lot more about it than I ever will. So, let me know in the bottom. Be a couple days before I can get to this anyway. Alright, so next on the list, I got a message from an old high school friend, a gal I grew up with, her and her brother. And when I say we grew up together, we were the neighborhood crew. And she said, I'm throwing this at Goodwill unless you want it. And again, if you're following the social media, you already know what's coming up. But this is all that was in the picture. It's just a 32X box. Hoping the console was in it, but I didn't know what would be in the box when I got it. So we made arrangements, and I met her a couple days later, and I picked it up. And of course, everything that was in it was the console. I know this camera's not as good, but it's in really nice shape, and it has everything that it should have pretty much to play. I mean, there's the adapter for depending on what system you're using, what console I should say. It had the power cable, it had the connector for the Genesis Model 2, the prongs, it had some other random coaxial cable thing in there. There was 2 Genesis 3-button pads, official licensed one, that I'm not going to show you because you know what those look like. There was also this 3rd one in there. It's just some off-brand, whatever. It doesn't feel as cheap as a lot of the other third-party controllers do. It doesn't feel 100% Genesis either. In fact, the D-pad feels pretty good. It's a little higher, raised than a normal one is, but it's yet to be seen if this is worthwhile or not. And as soon as I get my Genesis plugged in, I'm going to try this out first. And then the last one was in the package was this multi-cap for the Genesis. I've never had any super multi-caps, as this one's called, for any system. No 4 scores, no splitters for anything. So that's pretty cool to have. Whether I end up using it or not, I don't know. If someone actually has use for it, let me know. Maybe we can work something out, because I don't necessarily see me using this for anything. But I would also like to go for a very elaborate Sega collection, so I might keep it. Let me know. If you can find some really good use for it, let me know. Maybe we can work something out. The only issue with any of that is I mentioned that the cable that came with it connects to the Model 2 Genesis, and I own a Model 1. So I either have to get a Model 2 Genesis, which I have no problem doing, and it's easy enough, cheap enough, or I can dig and really try to seek out that tough cord to connect to my Model 1. Either way, hopefully we'll fire this thing up, and hopefully, it's working. And I have no doubt that it isn't because of the condition it's in. But it's probably been sitting in an attic for many, many, many moons. How funny. Mr. Paku Paku just sent me a message. The phone's connected to Wi-Fi. How weird is that? I didn't realize I kept the Wi-Fi on it. So, getting away from that. Next batch of stuff. My buddy Justin, he meant to send me something for my birthday, but the guy's in college and he works full-time in his field. And he's got a lot on his plate, and he's got projects going on. But he sent me a message the other day saying, hey, I'd like to send you out a couple of games for your birthday. So, and he did. And what ended up coming was Wonder Boy in Monsterland. God, the lighting sucks in here. I'm so sorry. I've never really played this game, but I've seen plenty of gameplay. In fact, I don't think I've played any Wonder Boy games. But they look fun, and I hear this is one of the better ones in the series. And since I got the 32X, he knows I don't have any cards for it, he sent me out Star Wars Arcade. And coincidentally, this would have been the first one I looked for anyway. So, it's complete in box. The cartridge is in excellent, excellent, excellent shape. Not that you can see it past the manual. There's a warranty card in there and stuff. It's very complete. So, Justin, thank you so much for these, bud. I really appreciate it. Now, and thank you for that, Justin and his mother, who collect together, which is awesome. I wanted to do an interview with them a long time ago when I started this page, but we just never got around to it. But they started a Facebook group called the 8-Bit Kitty. Get rid of the 8-Bit Kitty. Go ahead and go on over there and sign up. If we're friends on Facebook, chances are you already know about it. I've sent you the link, or I've added you, or just sent you a request to join. But if you haven't been over there, it's a group of folks, different age ranges. Everyone's got a really good attitude. And it's a fresh page, And it's not just, it's all about video games, but it's not just, hey, dig this and dig that, or what do you think of this? People are posting pickups. People are writing blog discussions on there, posting their videos. It's just an all-around great group. And from what I understand, there's a website and a YouTube channel to follow. So go ahead, go over there and tell Justin and all that the creep sent you, okay? So this last bit, yes, I'm trying to rifle through this. I don't want to make this drawn out like the other one was. Is today I decided to go to a different thrift store. When I was at the other two that I mentioned when I picked this up, I got bummed out that I couldn't really find nothing at the 2 big ones in my area, and there really aren't that many. We don't have that many Goodwills up here, despite the fact that it started in Boston. How weird is that? So on my phone, I typed in thrift stores in the area. I just let my location setter find where I was. Those 2 came up, and then 2 others. One I haven't gone to yet, and this other one is here in the town I live in and where I grew up, coincidentally. It's in the basement of a church. So I went there yesterday and they were closed. Went back again today, and I'm glad I did because they were open. I didn't really score when I went down there. I found 2 PlayStation 2 games, but I wasn't really interested in those because 1, I don't own PlayStation 2, and 2, I'm not really collecting for them, and they weren't titles I couldn't find anywhere else. So chances are I probably would have gotten them for 50 cents, but so be it. So I asked the lady at the register, I'm going to call it that, hey, you wouldn't happen to have any old video games, you know, like Atari, Sega, Nintendo, stuff like that. And she's like, you know what, hold on one second. So she got a gentleman, and he said, I don't think I have anything like that, but let me check. I think we had a PlayStation and a couple of games for it. I may have put it out, I may not have. So he comes back about 5 minutes later, apologizing that he didn't have it anymore. I guess they'll hang on to things for so long, then they'll just pass them on to the next organization to sell, or they'll throw them away. I don't know what they do with it. But he explained to me, I'm sorry, we don't have any of that. So as I was walking out of the building, I thanked them both for their time and appreciate the fact that they looked for me. The lady stopped me, and this is the only reason I was still in the building, to give me this little blue card with their number and operation hours, because I guess they've changed since volunteers have come and go or whatever. And while we were discussing, she had mentioned that, you know, now that we know that somebody's looking for this stuff, what we'll do is we'll put it aside, and you'll call periodically, and we'll hold it for you. And of course I thanked her for that. And just as I was walking out the door, that same gentleman comes running around the corner with this little teeny box. Says, this is Nintendo, is this what you're talking about? And this is what was in the box. I got a Super Nintendo, a fairly decent shape, and it does work. I already tested everything on. Case is a little yellowed, but that's to be expected. And there's one little chip in the back, but you know what, I plugged it in and I didn't even have to fiddle with it. It fired up, the games worked, I'm happy. It came with 2 controllers in excellent condition. It came with the power supply, and it came with an RF switch. It didn't come with the AV cables, but those are easy enough to find. I just thought that was bizarre because it's rare these days to find a Super Nintendo deal with the RF adapter. But, you know, I move on. It came with 3 manuals. Let's see if I have them. I got a Killer Instinct, Mega Man X, and a Donkey Kong Country. Now, Donkey Kong Country is not in the box, but the other 2 games are, which I just spoiled a surprise for you, so I apologize. But it did come with 8 games. Now, mind you, I'm holding this box while we're talking, and every time I pulled out a different game, it just got better and better and better. So the first 4, NCAA basketball, which, you know, whatever, not a basketball fan. Killer Instinct, love fighting games, and that one's pretty cool. Final Fight, I really like beat 'em ups, and I love this one. This one's really fun. I had this the last time I had a Super Nintendo. Actually, Mr. Paku Paku hooked me up with it, and I can't wait to get started on that again. And Mario Paint, which leads me to believe maybe they might have the mouse down there, so next time I go in, I'm going to bring a picture of that on my phone and show it to them. And maybe they have it, maybe they don't. If they don't, that's quite alright. 4 more games and then we're done, okay? Super Mario World. Great game. Next one's pretty cool. You know, I mean, some people might like this one. The Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past. This is the only Zelda game I can get into. I don't know why. I'm not a big fan of Legend of Zelda. Maybe because I didn't really give it a chance back then. I was into simple arcade-style games. Beat-em-ups, shooters, maze, pac-man, simple games. You know, I was an arcade, old-school guy. And when these games that came up that were huge worlds, they were overwhelming to me, so I stayed away from them. With some exceptions like Castlevania and Metroid and stuff like that. But I happened to get a copy of this with a GBA I got at a thrift store years ago. And it was the only game I had for it, so I guess that's the reason I played it. But I fell in love with it, and I can't wait to fire this one up. I turned it on to make sure it works, but I want to see what kind of save stuff is on here, if the battery's any good. Obviously start my own game. But be interested in seeing what the last person, you know, how far they got. You know, that's half the fun with some of these things. Alright, so you saw the manual for Mega Man X. I got Mega Man X, never played this one. I played it for a few minutes this morning, obviously, to try it out. It just seems like more of the same, but with Super Nintendo style graphics, 16-bit. So I was happy to see that. This was the first game I saw when I pulled out when him and I were talking. Last but not least, this is the one that gave me the fucking rager, the huge hat on. Super fucking Metroid. Oh, see, that doesn't work because there's no light here. This is like the third game I pulled out while we were talking. And I saw this and I was just like, Super fucking Metroid! I love this game. This is top 10 easily in my favorite games of all time. Probably my second favorite game, only second to Castlevania 4 on the system itself. And to find that in there, I was just so ecstatic. So, I am going to go and tell you what I paid for the Super Nintendo setup here. Not so much to brag, but for other reasons. So I'm holding this box after going through a few of the games, and I say, okay, well, how much? And he looks at the lady and looks back at me, and don't lie, he had this nervous look on his face when he threw his number out at me. He was like, I don't know, what do you say, $8? And she looked back at him and said, yeah, that sounds fine. And I was like, of course I kept that inside. I'm like, yeah, cool, $8. I think I could do that. That was funny. The lady asked me, goes, do you like to sell these things? I'm like, oh, no, I try to preserve the stuff. I bring it home, and I like to preserve the culture of it. I said, I told her there are people out there that would do that, but not me. And I told her it was worth quite a bit more than $8. I didn't tell her how much more. But, so I flipped her the 10 and told her just to keep the whole thing. And she was honest. She said, no, here's your change. I came out to $8.50 after taxes, so I was super excited. You can't imagine how super excited I was. And it wasn't because I only paid $8.50 for all this stuff. It was because it re-energized that love for hunting. And, you know, I did that video a few weeks ago about the state of hunting today and all that crap. And it's true, these deals are out there. I mean, talk to your friends and family. This shit is still in their attic and basement. Right now is yard sale and garage sale season. They're cleaning house. Ask people. Find this little thrift stores and stuff like that. I'm not trying to get into a PSA now, but I have to justify why I'm bragging about $8.50 for all the Super Nintendo stuff. But I truly mean this from the bottom of my heart. I keep getting discouraged. Just this past week, I've been bummed out saying, no, I missed the hunt. I went to a few garage sales and no one really had anything but some sports titles for PS4, maybe a PS3 game here and there, but nothing of what I was looking for. And this area is dry, and or you get a bunch of idiots trying to get this lot here easily would be listed for $350 locally, which is ridiculous in itself. This game here would probably be $30-40, you know. It's just ridiculous what people want for this shit up here in Boston. I'm sure it's like that elsewhere too, but and when you find a little place like that you know probably hasn't been tapped that much, but probably randomly doesn't get much in anyway, it's really exciting, and I'm so glad I found those people. Hung out for a little bit, we talked. So anytime they get something, I'm going to put it aside. I'm going to call them once every couple of weeks, and hopefully, you know, I can rebuild the empire while preserving the stuff and keeping it out of greasy hoarders and resellers' fingers. So with all that, guys, thanks so much for watching. The other video is in the works. I just need to figure out if I can use the video on my phone that's behind me, or if I'm going to have to use this shitty old camera to redo it all. So if you've subscribed already, thank you so much. If you haven't, please do so. I really appreciate it if you would. Leave comments below. That's my favorite. I love reading your comments, and if I can, I'll respond to them. It's not like I get an overwhelming amount that I can't. But leave your feedback, positive and negative. Thumbs up, thumbs down. It's all positive to me. And I hope you guys are having a great week. Take care, and hopefully that next video will be up before the end of the week, if not early next week. So guys, with that, we'll see you later. And this is the Atari Crew signing out saying, bye-bye. Super fucking Metroid.